All right, delighted to have back joining the channel now talkSPORT Endzone, our official and dedicated NFL YouTube channel, ahead of this live game Thursday night, exclusive to the talkSPORT network as the New York Jets take on the Houston Texans. Veteran tackle from the Jets, Morgan Moses, joins the show now. Morgan, firstly, how are you? How's the knee feeling? How are you in yourself right now?
I'm doing well, man. Doing the best I can, man. Obviously it's a fast turnaround, but excited to get back into playing games. Especially with Houston Texans this week.
It does that short turnaround help when you come off a tough loss like Sunday, and a lot of questions are being asked about the organisation and the team right now? Does having that short turnaround actually is there almost a bit of a boon to it because it does allow you to switch focus and move on to the next thing quickly?
Well, this is part of being in the league. You're always up and challenging with challenging schedules and things like that, and but nobody really cares. But for us, man, it's exciting because obviously we let one loose. Get by last week, and so now it's just like, hey, let's go back to work and get this nasty taste out of our mouth and go out there and operate the way we know how to operate. We talked about it this week. Where all our dreams and aspirations that we have are still on the table, man. You look at our division, and right now the focus is just to get one win, and then move on from there.
What is the culture? What's the mentality like in the locker room right now? As I say, you're a veteran. You've been in the league 8-9 years now, so. What is this feeling like at the New York Jets going into this week?
Oh, well, yeah, you shortchanged me two years right there. So.
Oh wow! All right, I apologize.
No, it's all good, man. We're blessed in here, man. We got a great locker room full of guys, man. A lot of guys that came from winning programs and winning organizations and just want to get here and win, man. And that's what we're doing, man. We're just putting our all our efforts forward to get the win against the Texans, man. We know they're a hot team. We know they're a good team. They can they have talent all over the field. But it's that's not us worrying about them. It's worrying about how we can control things, making the corrections from last week. I know we had a couple of pre-snap penalties and things like that caused us to blow some timeouts, and so it's for us is to get back to the drawing board and say, how can we get better and operate in a better way.
There is a lot of veteran talent in this locker room, you being one of them. 10, 11 years in the league, I apologise. How much responsibility do you feel on your shoulders to help lift this team up?
100%, man. Obviously, it's a lot, man, because for me especially, looking at guys like Aaron and Tyron who's played a lot of football, and you want them to go out there and feel comfortable. You want them to go out there with winning effort, and not to say that we're not giving winning effort, but those are guys that at the end of the day, you never know what's going to happen. So you want to go out there and play the display the best football that you can with those guys out there because they deserve it. They've had long careers, and the things that they do to put the work in and they prepare themselves every day in and out on this field and practice field and game field. That's part about that brotherhood, man. But for us right now, it's just to focus on, what we can control, and that's us, man. It's just focusing on 11 people that's going to be on the field at the same time, operating, making the plays come to life and making plays, man. We always say it, man. Players make plays, and coaches. So whatever it's called, whatever, we break the huddle with, man, is to execute to the best of our ability. And that's what we've been doing all week, man. It's been a great week of practice. I know it's been a short week of practice, but a great week of practice of execution, and some really heavy talks about looking yourself in the mirror and see how you can figure this thing out for yourself, man to man. That way, when we get on the field, when all 11 are on the field, that's operating at a smooth machine.
Who's that message coming from? Who's that message about looking in the mirror? Is that coming from Coach Olbrich? Is that coming from Aaron? Who's delivering that to the players in the locker room?
I mean, that's everybody. That's all the older guys, man. We're sitting here at week 9 right now, and there's no more room for rookies. These rookies are now young vets, and so the details of studying the film and breaking down the film and being prepared and being ready for their opportunity when your number's called, when you not necessarily know it's going to get called, like those things like that is just being ready for those things. And I think we got a great group of guys on offense, defense, and special teams that have been able to preach that to the younger guys and to the vets as well, because we all need some reminding ourselves as well. But for us right now is just the dial in. We got a couple of days left before the game, and we got some things that we're going to keep on working towards and getting better at.
It's great to hear that it is coming from all facets, that all the veterans are getting involved, that there's no one hiding their voice by the sounds of it. But I do have to ask specifically about Aaron Rodgers and what role, he's the guy that the franchise go and put a huge amount of investment into to bring in and to, they believe, turn themselves into a winning team, a playoff team, maybe even a championship team. So what's his approach been over this tough 3-game streak, and what's his message to you guys been?
I mean, his approach is unbelievable, man. What he does on the field and off the field for the guys, man, is something that you really can't even talk about because it's unmatched. But we know what he brings to the table, and it's for as speaking for the offense. It's for us to take some of that pressure off his plate by continuing trying to run the ball. We got a great group of running backs back there, so continue to run the ball, kind of staying out of that 2nd and 10 and 2nd and 12. Yard down and just operating smoothly, man, and moving these sticks, man. And so when we call on Aaron to be Aaron, he can play freely, he can play ball like he wants to, and so it's for us to just, we know what we got back there at that quarterback spot, and so for us to operate in a manly fashion to make sure that we're getting the best out of him and not putting him in the hole by being in 3rd and 13 and 3rd and 14. Because at that point, man, it doesn't matter what you call, man. You allow the rushers to sit back and rush, and you allow them to play multiple differences of coverages.
It's really interesting you mentioned the run game, because I think doing my prep for this game on Thursday and looking ahead to it, if I'm looking at the keys to the game from you guys' perspective, on your side of the ball in particular, it's written exactly that down: winning on early downs, running the ball well, because the Texans, that pass rush is no joke, and so if you can force them to be honest, that feels like that needs to be a focus. Do you think the run game, is it there for you guys right now? Because it feels like that's been the missing key on that side of the ball for the last few weeks.
Yeah, I think you look at last week's film. I think we ran the ball pretty well. Getting the ball. Not everything's going to hit for 6 or 7, 8 yards. Sometimes there's those 2-3 yards, but you keep on pounding the ball, and then you those 2 and 3 yards break out to 10 to 12 yards. And so for us, it's just the philosophy of getting up to the ball and running the ball, keeping Aaron clean, and obviously and just playing fast football, man. We control a lot of the things that have happened to us, and we've looked ourselves in the mirrors and seen how we can correct those things. And I think when you can have an honest conversation throughout the whole offense and the whole team of like, hey, what can I do better? What can look myself in the mirror and correct the things that I need to correct? That leaves room for opportunity. That leaves room for us flourishing the way we need to flourish. And at the end of the day, like I said, you look at our division. This thing is not over with. So it's just reminding the guys that, hey, like all we need is one game. One game at a time. Let's not look down the road to the future, but just worry about where we're at right now.
And just to ask on something you did mention earlier, the issues kind of pre-snap, the issues with kind of the procedural stuff, right? Using 3 timeouts in the first quarter. It's not ideal. Everyone can see that from a distance. You don't need to be on the team. You don't need to be an expert necessarily to know that that's an issue. So you talked a lot about looking in the mirror and what you guys can do to improve. What very specifically can be done to avoid those basic errors again? And can you guys practice, real procedural stuff? Is that something you can really focus on with such a short week?
Yeah, 100%, man. Obviously getting the play call from Aaron getting the play call from the offensive coordinator, us breaking the huddle, getting up to the ball, allowing Aaron to do his thing, whether it's using cadence, motions, whatever the case is, getting us to a better play, and people knowing where to go. That all matters. That all counts to the time that's rolling off the clock, and then obviously getting back to the huddle is a big thing, because once that ball is set, that time is running off. So not walking back to the huddle, but getting back to the huddle with an urgency, so we're ready for when Aaron's ready to give us the next play. Those are all things that we can control, and those are all things that we've been working on all week to do. It takes all 11, man. It's not one person that you can point the finger to, because at the end of the day, when you operate as an offense, you operate as a whole, and that's 11 people on and off the field, substitution and everything. So for us, those are things that we can control. Those are things that we've been working on. Those are things that guys know are things that we need to clean up, and we're looking forward to being able to showcase a well-oiled machine on Thursday.
Look, Morgan, we really appreciate your time. Sensational stuff. Thank you so much. And just the last one from me, because there's been so much focus on the team as a whole, on Aaron, etc. But just one guy I've not heard a huge amount about since he's entered the building, Devonte Adams, obviously a bigger role in the offense this past weekend. Just give me your impression as a vet, seeing that guy come in, seeing what he does in practice, seeing his connection with Aaron. What's been your impression of him? And are you expecting more to blossom over these next 2-3 games?
100%, man. You know, he's a one of a kind talent, and obviously I got multiple loads of love for him because he's a guy that got drafted in my class. So anytime you see a guy that's 11 years in the league and is still doing it at a high level, man, you take your hat off to that because it's not easy. But just what he brings as a professional, what he's bringing to the receiver room to teach, Garrett and all these other, younger receivers how to operate in the way that they need to operate. It's been a beautiful thing. So I look for him to, keep on striving and having a breakout game.
Beautiful. Morgan, appreciate your time. Wish you the best of luck on Thursday night live on talkSPORT against the Texans and like you say, one at a time.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.